in 3, 2, 1,
Tetris!
All right.
And they're off.
And so we do have separate piece sets this time around down at the top and the bottom, a little bit different than we saw in the previous set.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing when every player had the same seed, how different their stacking fundamentals are. Like I always say, every game of Tetris is never the same.
Yeah, and sometimes we always say, oh, look, there's clone tricks, the first 5, 6 pieces, but once those stacks diverge, that's really going to say, okay, now what fundamentals are they doing? Are they going with a certain strategy? Are they just going to go with how they know it or how they're seeing it, some type of vision? Or, hey, are they just dealing with the pieces as they get them and they don't really have a
And look strategy. At this right now, like 34-piece drought introduced early to Zempro and Roncli.
And both of them navigate through that flawlessly. Back-to-back bars for back-to-back Tetrises. 56 plays 53 up at the top. Down at the bottom, 71 playing 48. A little bit slower of a start here for TStorm. Oh, what's my Gatorade? Thanks.
Yeah, shout outs to one of the volunteers helping us with some hydration here.
Yes, it is very, very important that you stay hydrated in an event like this because, not only are we talking and, expelling our saliva everywhere, but it's also a little warm, so you want to make sure that your body's taken care of. And if you are watching and you haven't hydrated or stretched, why don't you do that right now and take care of your bodies while we watch some players play Tetris.
Okay, Roncli having to deal with some situations here. Gonna have to take some burns, and this is just causing Zempro to take about a 3.5 Tetris lead.
Yeah, this is nothing dangerous for Roncli, but it is going to slow him down, and you now finally getting some pieces to get this board back in order. Oh, he would love a piece to open the well. He's going to use the J, create another hole, but there's the long bar for the Tetris crossing the 100,000 point mark. So if this were the best of 99, this would be an official game. Oh, and down at the bottom, Oop is going to top out at 132. You can kind of see the reaction right there. Not too pleased. And a TStorm at 161 is good for game 1 at the bottom and is now on match point. Oh, sure. All right, so up at the top, we're going to keep things going. 147 now for Roncli, who's getting bonked over the head with long bars but can't use them to score. And he is starting to fall a bit behind as Zempro has been playing very efficiently here in the first 50 lines of 18 speed. But certainly both players are rolling. In fact, let me see Zempro's hands really quick. Yes, Zempro is rolling as well. So, we mentioned 29 playability. We didn't get to see much of that in the first part of this quadrant of the bracket. So we're going to see if 29 play is a factor here. I do know that Roncli and Zempro both are capable of getting to 29, but I'm not seeing too much of them on the 29 speed. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Sorry.
They are off and running down at the bottom here.
Yes.
Oop having a little bit of a slower start here. Going to set up dirty. Column 10, row 3, but no bar.
Okay.
And Tyler's here. Standing over my shoulder. And Oop has cleaned up the mess, is back to scoring position, knocked down that Tetris. 53,000 plays 69. Hey now. Sorry, I would be remiss if I didn't do that on CT3. But up at the top, a 6.5 Tetris lead now for Zempro over Roncli. Roncli just trying to get something going here, and it's just not getting there. So this is really going to have to get ramped up. Long bar in, there's the Tetris. Would love to get to about a 400K before the transition. Zempro already 400K before the 100 line.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this and just Zempro just showing he's such a good player, especially working a lot behind the scenes. You would think that all that distraction would make him not as good, but it's just showing that he's just pulling ahead so much.
And you know what? Really, it comes down to their ability as a player to stay calm. I would almost call Zenpro for how cool and collected Zempro has been. throughout these games here, as well as doing the stats. I mean, that is a very tough position for them. You know, the whole stats team running back and forth, making sure all the scores are right. And, you know, for Zempro to come off of that, play a game, and really start hammering these games against Roncli with now almost a 700 point, or 700, oh my gosh, 7 Tetris.
Wow.
Imagine 700 Tetrises, right?
Exactly. But also, wait a second, look at the bottom right now. Look at this drought that they're experiencing.
Yeah, 38-piece drought here. TStorm weathering it just fine.
As
Nice
well
double,
as Oop.
and then Oop going to get a Tetris there across the 200,000 point mark. 205 plays 262.
Yeah, there's the way Oop and TStorm manages those droughts is just phenomenal because, like, normally people would already top out at that, but these are not normal players. They are, I mean, TStorm, a bronze winner last year.
Yeah, you know, we did mention that TStorm does not play on console, but that doesn't change the stacking fundamentals and the strategy. I mean, he's also one of the coaches.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
For,
he coaches.
for the Tetris scene. So, you know, if you're looking to get your game a little bit better at Tetris, you can contact TStorm and get some free coaching.
And we got a transition on the top 376 to about over 500 for Zempro.
Yeah, Roncli was able to get to that 400K mark at transition that I was saying that he'd really like to get to. Meanwhile, Zempro, though, at 6'11". Don't adjust your TV screens.
Set up for Tetris, but now another drought is occurring. Oh, but Roncli couldn't handle that drought and tops out at 425, so Zempro takes game number 1.
Yeah, meanwhile, down at the bottom, the fun is just about to start. We are halfway through 18 now. 307 for Oop, 400 for TStorm. This is a really strong game from TStorm. I mean, normally you want to see the 400K at 100 lines. We're seeing 400 at 80. This is a really strong performance here for TStorm on this game number 2 match point. A nice adjustment there to make room for the L piece. And there's a long bar. There's the Tetris. 428 now at 93.
Yeah, you can see those little body movements because Oop just wants to make sure he gets those pieces over that he needs. And there's a long bar and a Tetris to bring the board down a little bit more. Okay, the top game has started.
Yeah, so it is match point up at the top. Zempro going to look to continue the onslaught that he has put on Roncli. Meanwhile, if you're Roncli, you got to just adjust for what you just had. Put that behind you and turn the page on this game number 2 because you're fighting for your tournament life. Mm-hmm. You know, that's so rough about a best of 4 or best of 3, right?
Yeah, that's what's really rough about best of 3s because again, you cannot give a free game.
Yeah, usually on the best of 5, you're like, okay, I had that one bad game, yeah, but okay. You know, not here. You're down 1, you're on match point already. Your tournament life hangs in the balance.
Yeah,
so.
And right now, Oop's tournament life is on the balance and needs to kind of bring this board down because he is at 108 lines and approaching transition in about 20 more lines.
Yeah, and this is going to be a really difficult situation. The right pieces don't come. Is dependent on a long bar, and look, if there's a drought.
Yeah, but that triple helps. Oh, and that long bar helps as well.
Okay, now actually going to be set up for the dirty Tetris, and that turns it into a triple, gets another one.
But that's better safe than, you know, having to be aggressive and top out.
Yeah, but really not having 29 playability. Being down 8 Tetrises before transition into 19, I mean, you got to do something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that something is setting up a dusty Tetris. He knows.
And there's the bar. There's the Tetris, 414. So we're going to look for probably a 450 transition, but going to double in instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and TStorm transition at a near 600K transition there, 597.
Yeah, now this is where the game's going to get interesting because TStorm is a great player but does not play on console all that often. So the 19 speed is where it will start to get a little questionable. So we'll have to see if he's able to keep the composure. And looks like Oop has starting to find a rhythm here now, is cut into that lead a little bit. 468 playing 650.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
nice clean board.
Up at the top, we've hit 35 lines, and now Zempro out in front, almost about 2 Tetrises. So, you know, Zempro looking to put away Roncli early.
There it is. There's a Tetris now for Zempro in the lead by about 1.5 Tetrises. In the bottom, okay, TStorm dealing with a little bit of a drought. There's a long bar and a Tetris. Yeah, Oop just trying to close the gap, but then, you know, they're just scoring Tetrises.
Yeah, they're matching each other's efficiency, and really, if you're Oop, you're praying for a slowdown here from TStorm, but TStorm showing no signs of stopping. He is burning the roadhouse down here.
Getting those pieces to the left. You can see how he really had to move his body to get those pieces to the left. Oh, nice tuck there.
What a stacking vision there for TStorm. Just so clean.
And there's a long bar and a Tetris. Gonna try to clean up that in the hole. Okay, TStorm, another Tetris. Oop is set up to be Tetris ready, but hanging a little piece. Did not have enough dash, as you saw there. There was a long bar enough for that Tetris, but he knew he didn't have enough dash, so he couldn't risk getting that long bar.
Yeah, but this board
right.
is still at risk here. He needs a very good sequence of pieces, and guess what? The wrong pieces are coming here. That left side is going to be completely cut off, and at 576, Oop is finished. And TStorm at 818 punching his ticket to the next round.
Moves to the next round. And on the top, Zempro leading by about 4 Tetrises.
Got the Vits. About 5 Tetrises in the lead here over Roncli. Roncli going to take a nice double to open up the well, clear the hole, and get a Tetris. 205 playing 320, and we are just about 80 lines through. So, while they're getting here and the other players we got a little bit of time. I just went and checked out the convention before I came over here, and I am holding a Surfing Pikachu Pokemon card. Have you ever seen an electric type being able to use Surf?
No, and I believe that was a anime exclusive moment.
Yeah, so this is from the 2025 anniversary. So I bought this for my kid. He's a huge Pokemon fan.
Let's go.
If you have a chance to check out the convention center, go check it out. Huge props to the gaming expo here to have us run this tournament now. This is what, our 4th year here?
It will be our 3rd year here.
Oh, the 3rd year here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, they're about to reach a Joey Parker turn, hitting the 100 line mark. 320,000 points for Roncli, 393,000 points for Zempro, winning by about 4 Tetrises. Nice double well set up, and now set up for a Tetris. There it is.
Yeah, Zempro still continuing to play clean Tetris. Roncli has just been digging and making a slight misdrop there. May turn this into a dirty Tetris well. Let's see what he does.
Oh, does not go set up for a Vits there. Probably doesn't want to. He does. Yeah, he does not want to.
Oh, Zempro missing the S spin. Going to snap back to make the adjustment for the square. Missing the Z spin now. So both players in Dig City. And 19 transition is approaching. We're about 15 lines away.
Zempro's board a little bit more favorable to get out of this situation. Whereas Roncli's going to have to do more digging. And yeah, it's just slowly kind of going up, but at the same time, it's actually going down a little, but goes S flat. Oh, nice long bar flat burn there.
Yeah, Zempro knocking down a dusty Tetris. Zempro did coin that term, dusty Tetris, and I like to use that in my streams. So
since it's not as dirty.
Yeah, it's just a row one.
Row one.
Yeah.
And look at this center well Tetris for Zempro with the perfect well transfer.
Oh, going to go a little bit aggressive here. He knows he has the game in hand, and transition is a 1 line away.
Oh yes, and he goes for a Tetris 539 transition, 369 transition for Roncli.
Yeah, so a 6 Tetris lead at the transition mark here. Zempro clean, Roncli still digging. And Roncli really fighting for his tournament life, has to get out of this mess, get back into scoring position, and start scoring because Zempro is not showing any signs of letting up.
No. And it looks like, Roncli wants to go ahead and transfers as well. And instead of setting up for some center wells, he wants to have an ideal board to start setting up Tetrises.
Yeah, setting up in the right well would be the right way to do it. He is set up, ready and waiting. He needs the long bar score, but hang on the left.
Fails the 5 tap there.
And there is no bar.
Where is the bar?
Where's the bar? There's no bar!
Where is it? Oh, no, and tops out. How far does this drought go? 23, 24, 25.
It went to 25 pieces, so Roncli could have weathered that for 4 more pieces. It would have been fine. But Zempro, congratulations, you're moving on. Roncli, commiserations, you're going home.
And he's like saying, what? I have to work.
But now I have to go back to work. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, and Zempro, again, shows how great of pro he is. So that concludes another block of matches.
Yeah, you know what? Me coming over here, we kind of speed running through this bracket. So.
I was surprised how in the early rounds it was like deciders. This one went by really, really fast. By the way, since we have the commentator cam, did you like to show that surfing Pikachu you were talking about?
Yes, here.
While we're still waiting.
So it is a Pokemon. It is a Pikachu. It's a little blurry. Let me see if I can get it closer to my face. But yeah, it's got Pikachu on a surfboard and has surf. It can do surf.
Yeah, the electric type mouse doing surf attack.